Hello, welcome to the last case of John Morley. Or kind of welcome back to the last case of John Morley, because I have actually played the demo of this, which was, I think, essentially the beginning of the game. But I'm really excited to get back into this because I absolutely loved the demo. It's so atmospheric gothic. We can actually continue here. Okay, and it's put us in John Morley's office. At last, back to the streets and the cold comforts of foggy old London, the chimneys filled the air with a familiar tang of coal dust, while the rhythmic hum of the small industries in Whitechapel, Stepney and Southwark rang in his ears like a symphony. Soon he'd be seated in his cluttered, dusty office once more, ready for the next case, perhaps finishing off some forgotten bottle of whiskey tucked away in a drawer, and mourning the irreplaceable loss of his assistant, Penny. So if you didn't see the demo version, Penny sent us a letter while we were in hospital recovering from falling off a roof during a case, basically saying that we haven't paid her for months and so she was leaving. Which is fair, really. So yes, it takes us back here to the building where John Morley's office is. So the bit that we are kind of missing from the demo is just us being in hospital after the accident. And I still really wish I could go and get those border collie puppies that are for sale. Let's go to the office.
Everything has got that same old charm, and yet feels oddly new. This hospital stint's given me a bit of a new outlook. Maybe I'll take it a shade easier from now on, sticking to cases that don't demand a trip to the morgue.
Yeah, okay. So the same as before, we looked at these ones. There's just some random posters in here for shows and stuff, including this kind of creepy one for a tarot reading. Oh, I need the key. I forgot I didn't have the key.
Are. Penny's keys. Just like it says in her note.
So she was nice enough to leave the key for us at least when she left. So we'll look at the things
Even
again.
the coppers missed it. The slant on the letter E. That's what gave away the typist in the black letters case.
All of these related to cases that I have previously solved.
The umbrella.
And I want to look at them all just in case there is a reason to have
the jealous lover solved
them all.
everything with a few blows from an ashtray. Brutal but effective.
Yeah, and they do sound like they were pretty interesting cases. Yeah, so there was an achievement for that, inspecting all the items from the cases. Good thing we went back to do that. If you are interested, though, and you didn't see the demo, if you're interested in the cases, go and watch the demo, because I read through all of them.
Murder. The murder weapon from the cadaver collector case. Nasty bit. Penny's desk. I ought to give her a ring. I tried to sweet talk her into coming back. So this is Peter. That smug grin's got "punch me" written all over it.
It actually does, really, doesn't it? I hope that's not like a developer or something.
My desk, strangely tidy. Normally it's buried under papers, notes, bits of evidence. Penny must have wanted to leave everything spick and span before she walked out on me. Another one of my cards. But this one has my last name circled.
And I know why, because we did this before. So these are locked.
The drawer. It's locked.
Apart from this one,
Amazing
which has got my
how this little gadget can
detective
reveal the
magnifying
devil in
glass
the
in it.
detail.
The reason why is because this is going to be really cool. It's a typewriter lock. I wish that was real. Last time I didn't get a chance to pick up the gun, so let's go for that one this time.
My Smith & Wesson. In perfect condition. You never know when it'll come in handy.
Maybe let's not point it towards myself.
The Scarlet Page. I trust Penny didn't go snooping through my things while I was away. Oh, my apologies, madam. I didn't hear you come in.
So awkward.
I was a bit distracted.
Good afternoon, Mr. Morley. I trust your assistant informed you of my visit as promised.
My apologies.
You did.
I was rather engrossed and didn't notice your arrival. To whom do I owe the honour of this meeting?
Lady Margaret Fordside. the 4th Countess of Bloomsbury.
Lady Margaret, could you tell me what brings you here today? How can I assist you?
I shall endeavour to be as candid as possible. 20 years ago, when my daughter was just 18, she was brutally murdered. It happened at our family estate, Bloomsbury Manor. Someone slipped into the house unnoticed, and upon reaching her room, delivered 5 fatal stab wounds to her chest, lungs, and heart.
This was such a specifically targeted
The
attack.
police, eager to close the case, hastily blamed and condemned 2 violent thieves who clearly had nothing to do with her death. The investigation was closed, and justice was never served. I am prepared to offer you £30,000 if you take on this case, and a further £30,000 if you can solve it and bring the true killer to light. Tell me, Mr. Morley, will you accept this case?
I will.
I understand your distress, Lady Fordside. But before I commit to anything, might I trouble you with a few questions?
By all means, Mr. Morley.
If you saw
Ask
the demo
whatever you
again,
must.
you will know that Mr. Morley is struggling for money right now, if you didn't already get that impression from Penny leaving. So we're definitely taking this case. But we will also go through the reasoning for why she's doing it now.
A case that's been cold for 20 years. You certainly don't make it easy for me, Lady Margaret. What made you decide to seek out a detective now?
For over 2 decades, I've fought tirelessly to have the case reopened, to prove that the real murderer escaped justice. But all in vain. Neither solicitors nor well-meaning police friends, nor even journalists hungry for a dark story, have managed to uncover anything. Then one day, I read about your success in solving the case of the Red Shoes killer. Regrettably, I also learned of the unfortunate incident that left you hospitalized with grievous injuries. On the advice of your secretary, Miss Penny, I waited patiently for your recovery.
More patiently than
And
she
now,
waited.
Here I am.
Okay. Next question. Those people they arrested, what about
Tell
them?
me about the men the police arrested. Why are you so certain they weren't guilty?
2 days after the murder, the police arrested a pair of violent thieves who were terrorizing the county at the time. Though they swore their innocence in my daughter Elodie's death, their criminal record completely undermined their defense. Seizing the opportunity, the police locked them away for their other crimes, and the case was closed. But what has always struck me as suspicious is that nothing was stolen on the night my Elodie was killed. If those thieves were truly the culprits, why would they murder her and then leave without taking a single piece of silver? It doesn't add up, Mr. Morley.
It does not. I agree, it's very obvious that it wasn't them. They have no motive. Bloomsbury Manor.
Tell me about Bloomsbury Manor. Do you still reside there?
After Elodie's death, I abandoned the estate. I couldn't bear
Can't
to
blame her,
remain
really.
there, to live within those walls. Even now, when I visit the manor, it still feels as though I can hear her footsteps echoing through the halls, her voice humming that old melody, the delusions of an old woman who has mourned her daughter for far too long, Mr. Morley. No mother should ever have to bury her child. Should you accept the case, Bloomsbury Manor would likely be the best place to begin the investigation. I shall not impede your work, as I now reside at Bedford Square, in the heart of the city.
Okay, and one last thing. Were there any witnesses?
Tell me, were there any witnesses? Did anyone see or hear anything?
It happened at midnight. The house was practically empty at the time, with only a few servants and a guest who was sleeping in the west wing.
I think that guest could be important.
I was the only one who might have heard something, as my room was next to hers. Unfortunately, I had taken a sleeping draught and fell into a deep slumber. It is a decision I shall regret for the rest of my days.
Well, I believe I have all the information I need to get started. I accept the case, and will begin the investigation immediately.
I'm pleased to hear that. My butler will bring you the £30,000 tomorrow morning. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have matters to attend to. Once you uncover the culprit, contact me at once, and I shall promptly deliver the remaining £30,000. Please, Mr. Morley, unravel this harrowing mystery that has tormented me for so long.
We're going to try, but it's not going to be easy. The visit from Countess Margaret Fordside was just what John needed. A case with all the right ingredients to stir his detective's instincts. An unsolved murder from 20 years ago, abandoned by the police in their incompetence, and a generous reward waiting at the end. What more could a man want on his first day back? The journey to Bloomsbury Manor passed without incident, though the rough, neglected road, ravaged by years of rain and wind, made for an uncomfortable ride. He arrived under the cover of night. The place was quiet, like the ruins of an old tomb, forgotten and forsaken. And this brings us to the very creepy Bloomsbury Manor.
As I made my way through the dense forest path, a haunting silence enveloped the air.
Where it gets very
It was as
gothic.
though the very night of the crime still lingered here, shrouded in an eerie calm. The manor stood before me, its facade as inscrutable as the shadows that danced in the moonlight.
I love that it's written in a very novel
Every
kind
step
of
I
way.
took felt like a step deeper into the heart of a mystery that refused to be forgotten.
Reminds me of Sherlock Holmes, like that first person detective story. Obviously, not first person from Sherlock's point of view in that case, but first person from Watson. Usually. And still nothing, no secrets for me to see over that. They could have added stuff since the demo.
Not a sound. The stillness feels heavy, like it's hiding something.
So we have the brochure, I guess, from the asylum, Westland Asylum over here. At Westland Asylum, we believe that the path to recovery begins with compassion, understanding, and the most advanced techniques of mental health care. Our institution offers a tranquil haven for those seeking respite from the trials of the mind. And it looks absolutely terrifying. I mean, are those, like, it looks like there's graves outside it for a start. This is...
The
yeah, it is
door's
locked
chained
in
up
this
with a
too.
padlock. Looks like I'll need to find the key. This painting, it's rather grim. There's something deeply unsettling about it. Almost like it carries a shadow of its own.
It really does. It's very creepy. In fact, it actually almost looks to me, I didn't notice this the first time, it almost looks like there is a shadow of that figure, like slightly off to the left-hand side of it. And this is a letter from the Westland Society of Fine Arts from the 15th of February 1923, which is just before the murder of the daughter. Your Ladyship, I write to you on behalf of the Westland Society of Fine Arts regarding the exhibition currently on display at our gallery, which features several works by your daughter, Miss Lady Fordside. Now, actually, again, we read through all of this in the demo, and to summarize it, what happens is they have had complaints about her artwork. So
It seems
this
Elodie had a passion for art,
is obviously
but her
hers.
style wasn't exactly well received. Disturbing from the looks of it.
As John Morley said. And they are going to be removing them from public view. They still seem pretty positive about it. They want to try to help her find somewhere else to put it. But yeah, disturbing.
A blue moon, Fitting for a place haunted by its own secrets.
It has such a cool atmosphere, this room.
Looks like the Countess left this for me. It could be useful for getting around the place.
Okay. And this is also a part of the demo, so my lady, I would kindly ask that once the midday service is complete, you grant me a few moments of your time in the library, and that is Joan Merver, the housekeeper.
So, the housekeeper left a note for the Countess, asking her to meet here on the day of the murder. I wonder what truly happened during that encounter. Very well. Let's piece the events together, step by step.
So she reads the letter from there. She ends up meeting the maid over here. The maid brings tea.
2 chairs. One of them knocked over. Looks like someone arranged tea in the library that day.
She gave her something.
An empty envelope. Did the housekeeper hand the Countess a letter?
And then on this side, there is
The
chaos.
housekeeper's cup is still here. Tea spilled across the table. She never got to drink it. Lipstick
And this side's all
stains.
nice and neat.
Same shade the Countess wore when she visited my office. It seems they met here. But something went wrong during the conversation.
I am very angry. After all these years of service, this is how you repay me? Walking away like this?
I'm sorry, madam, but the situation has become unbearable. My bags are already packed.
So yeah, the maid knew something, but she obviously came off worse from this interaction. And oh, it's up this way. I also like this investigation with the glowing green lights floating.
The Countess threw the housekeeper out in a fit of rage. In her haste, the housekeeper forgot one of her bags. What was it that unsettled the housekeeper enough to abandon her post so suddenly?
And then we have the fireplace.
Lady Fordside, still seething, burned something in the fireplace.
Something which there's still a scrap of. This is the letter from Joan Merver, the housekeeper, explaining that they have been with this family for a very long time, but they just cannot justify being here anymore. The house has forsaken everything it stood for, she says, and you know the reason why. So the mystery continues for us, but there was something that she did really not agree with. One of the things I found most interesting actually here is she says the house has been frequented by certain individuals whose presence is wholly at odds with the principles to which my lineage is so devoted.
The housekeeper resigned. Seems something, or someone, troubled her greatly. Enough to break the long-standing family tradition tying her to this place. Another painting by Elodie. There's something deeply disturbing about her work.
Maybe something to do with the people who were here. And we have this family book.
Looks like this is the Fordside family book, showing some of their ancestors.
And quite literally every single person in the Fordside family seems to have some sort of tragedy. So we had Sir Alaric Fordside, and he lost his wife. We had Lady Eleanor Fordside, and she was part of, or at least was at, the Battle of Balaclava, and she got that scar on her face. We had Lord Cedric Fordside, and I believe he was killed out at sea, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so this is Lady Isolde Fordside, so it's her story that actually kind of reveals that to us. And yeah, she wrote the Elegy in Blue. The statues in this room, these all relate to the people who are in that book, and they need to be facing the objects that meant something to them in life. So, this one is the woman who got the scar at the Battle of Balaclava. And she needs to face her medical kit, which is over there on the bookcase. This is the woman who wrote the elegy, so she needs to face her music over there. And I might need to check these two because I can't remember which one was which. So the guy with the beard, he's the one who loved going on expeditions. And yeah, the other one is Sir Alaric Fordside, who was an astronomer. So he needs to face his telescope, which is up there. He's an astronomer and he was obsessed with looking at the ring of light around the moon because he thought his wife was in it. Okay, and you need to face your globe. Perfect. And this opens up a small door at the back, which is a really cool way of locking the door. We also have this family crest, the Fordside family crest by the door.
This must have been some sort of private study for the Countess.
This is the psychiatrist. I'm writing to you as the attending physician of Ward 2 to provide an update on your daughter Elodie's progress. It's with great pleasure that I report her notable improvement. Elodie now confides that she no longer experiences dark thoughts. Most importantly, the nightmares have subsided and she's begun to communicate more amicably with her fellow patients, a crucial step in her recovery. Elodie has also asked me to relay a request. She would like you to bring her amber necklace when you visit this Sunday. I'll continue to keep you informed of her progress. And I really wonder whether she was just saying that. Because if you're trapped in an asylum because they say that you're having dark thoughts and nightmares,
Elodie was
probably
committed
would
to
just
a
say,
psychiatric facility.
I'm not having them anymore.
But she supposedly recovered from whatever ailed her. Lady Margaret and a young woman. I suppose it's Elodie. They look happy. It was undoubtedly a better time. This looks like the key to the main hall. Could be my way into the heart of the house.
Yeah, that's what we really needed from this room, and I guess that is the husband. He's presumably dead.
A British passport. Lord Fordside was undoubtedly a man of the world. An old pocket watch. It probably belonged to Lord Fordside, Lady Margaret's husband.
No additional clues on the watch. And I don't think there is anything else to see in here. Okay, let's go into the main room because this is actually now where the demo ended. So I'm very excited to get into this part and start properly uncovering the mystery. An enormous tree in the heart of the mansion. This place is no ordinary house. Yeah, thanks to the skylight, it can grow there. I'm actually kind of stuck on something. Oh, there we go. It's actually quite beautiful, but in a haunting, slightly spooky way. Here lies Elodie.
Rest eternally, beloved daughter, beneath the tree that once watched you grow.
That's really sad.
So this is where Elodie is buried.
It's no wonder they felt kind of haunted by her, though, and she was buried at the house, in the house. Can I take my lantern out? Oh, is this one of hers again? That's quite scary. It's quite tortured. Okay, I should explore everything. Can I get through this door?
This door is locked as well. If the Countess wanted me to investigate, why didn't she leave the doors open?
That seems slightly suspicious. Although, she did say that she hasn't been here for a long time. Because she doesn't like coming here. So, that could be why. She just didn't come back to unlock the doors. Although she could have thought to give us the keys. Oh, there's a lot of paintings in here. Is this Elodie's room?
Layers of dried oil paint, left untouched for 20 years. It's as if time stopped the moment Elodie laid down her brush. Feels like the room's holding its breath, waiting for something to stir.
What was she painting?
Looks like the last painting Elodie was working on was of a ship at sea. The whole gallery is filled with maritime references. She seemed quite obsessed with it.
Interesting obsession to have. Interesting perspective here. It doesn't look like we're actually on a boat. We're just kind of watching a boat in trouble.
A grand ship on the open sea. The sinking of a ship.
Maybe that's what she was dreaming about?
A man with his back turned, watching a ship go down.
That's essentially this one too.
This door appears to lead out to the back garden. Locked with a padlock. I'll need to find the key.
This must have been so beautiful. Just like a garden room with all of the natural light coming through the windows, and it's just for painting. Ah, the drawing and dining room. Maybe that's the door that we saw at the front. My lady, I must confess, never before has anyone requested something of this nature from me. I believe I am capable of the task, but I must inform you that it will require a significant sum. Certain parts will need to be specifically crafted in the city, and I must first commission the necessary plans. What you are asking is a piece of intricate engineering. But rest assured there will be no more ingenious way to restrict access to certain areas of the house. If it pleases you, I propose to delineate the space as follows. Area A, private quarters. Area B, guest quarters. Area C, kitchens and servant quarters. What have they done? This is going to make it hard for me to get around, isn't it? I have provided a sample mechanism for Area C. Adhering to your original concept, I would greatly appreciate a prompt response so that I may proceed with ordering the remaining mechanisms. Thomas Blacksmith. Right, so these are all going to be locked by area then. I'm going to have to work out how to unlock each one.
Lady Margaret took special care to secure the house, restricting access to certain areas.
Was that in case people came here being nosy?
Looks like some sort of clue. Trace the tree's journey from birth to decay. Follow the path of the artist in a thoughtful display. Arrange the 4 stages and the door will obey. Unlock the path ahead as art lights your way.
Ooh. The tree's journey from birth to decay. The path of the artist looks like it would be something in this room. Arrange the 4 stages. In the pictures, maybe? Art lights your way. Can't do anything with the paintings, can I? Is this open? I need the code for that. Is this going to have the same lock? Yeah. There's no numbers on that. Okay, well, that is a mystery to solve, but I have also just picked up a key, and I want to see if the key fits this door. It does. They put a lot of her very disturbing paintings up in the house. They obviously didn't have a problem with it. Ah. Here are the pictures of the tree from birth to decay. So this is it as a sapling.
Some of these paintings are really dark and sinister.
They're all really dark and sinister. What were you reading? Doesn't have a title on it.
This looks like Elodie's diary. Let's see what her last entries reveal.
I'm absolutely over the moon. Walter has written to say he is coming. I met him at the Western Sanatorium, and we have grown so very close. He was there recovering from the trauma of a shipwreck, where he tragically lost his companions. By sheer luck, he was rescued, but not before spending an entire year on an island living amongst the natives. He truly is an adventurer.
Aww. She was excited about the future. What happened in between the time when she wrote that and when she started painting these?
A young woman screaming in the middle of the darkness.
I'm so happy. Walter has finally arrived. I must admit, I am utterly captivated by him. I invited him to visit, and he gave me his word he wouldn't fail to come as soon as he was able to leave. And now he's finally here. I can scarcely contain my joy. It feels as though all the darkness has faded away.
Happened.
Oh, they looked so in love. So happy. I wonder what became of Walter after Elodie died.
Was he still around when Elodie died? Really need my lantern out. Okay, that's the tree grown a little bit more. Place is really wrecked. Sound of the wind is creepy in here.
Looks like a commercial seaman's yearbook, listing ships and their crews. It's open to the pages under S.
He was checking that.
Damn it, it's not here. It's simply not here.
Walter Brandon, Stella Maris's vessel. Why were they looking for that?
This must be the Countess's handwriting. What was she searching for?
Did she suspect that he wasn't telling the truth, Walter? She was trying to find the ship that he claimed to be on, maybe? That tree is quite progressed. I think that is the next one, though, because that is it dead. Yes, okay, so that was the clue on the table in the in Elodie's painting room. need to stop putting my lantern away. I really need this out. What is this of? Is that like Grim Reaper? Having cut someone down?
Those poor souls. Tragedy seems to have cast a long shadow over this family.
Lord Fordside disappears under mysterious circumstances. January 23. Was that after Elodie's death? That's a pretty suspicious coincidence. He went missing, she was murdered. What did they know? This is very dark. The light is struggling in here. This is really creepy. Somebody's sewing machine. This is completely boarded up.
A boarded up door. The access to the servants' quarters appears to be blocked for some reason.
And the kitchens. Wow, what happened in here?
These broken chairs. Someone must have hurled them to the ground with great force.
Ah, that's going to be useful.
Some of these tools have been bent, likely trampled over. A silver knife is missing, and it's nowhere to be found. Likely taken by the same person who caused all this destruction.
Do they have the murder weapon for Elodie? Could they have used that knife? Maybe it was someone from the house.
It looks like this vase was shattered. Not just dropped, but smashed with intent.
And we can't go this way because it's all locked with stuff. Okay, let's see if we can open up the servants' quarters using the tool we just picked up.
Looks like the crowbar is broken.
Okay, hopefully we won't need to use that again. Go check over here first.
A good way to motivate the staff.
Excellence in housework. English servant.
A backgammon board. One of the oldest board games.
Everybody just left, I guess, after Elodie died? Did the Countess just kick everybody out?
Miss Marva apparently knew her way around the tarot. What a dreadful spread, and what a chilling omen it revealed. Evil approaches. It will bring death, and lay ruin to the house and all who dwell within.
Oh, I know how to read tarot cards? Area B, 34982. Attention staff, whilst the installation of the new security systems in the chambers of areas A and B is underway, the following codes have been established. Okay, and the only one we can see there is Area B. We can see that Area A starts with 2, probably 5. But we have the code for Area B. Wait, well, I need to remember this. I should actually check. Can I see the notes for this? Sanatorium. Okay, these are vague notes, so I actually probably do need to remember the code. Three, 4, 9, 8, 2. Guess that's just a cupboard or something. before we go back to the doors which needed codes, let's check out the other rooms.
No doubt. This is the cook's room.
What were they making? Hard to see this. What's the note? Can't get any closer. 4... No? 5 something? I must remember to go for the market to buy the something ingredients. Oh, there's a note to self. So this is where the cook was. Pretty cheerful room, really, considering the rest of the house.
Lady Margaret, after the death of her daughter, dismissed the staff and left the mansion.
Yeah, so they really did leave just after that. To all staff members, by order of Lady Fordside, following the funeral of her beloved daughter, Elodie, you are kindly requested to proceed to the main hall of the estate, where you shall each receive a payment equal to 3 months' wages. With this gesture, your service to this household shall come to an end. Lady Fordside extends her deepest gratitude for your loyalty and devoted service. Yeah, she really did just get rid of everyone. And the other things, I guess, are just the servants putting up posters and stuff. There's a weird noise then.
A pair of blood-stained scissors stuck in the sink basin. Deeply unsettling.
Not only is that deeply unsettling, but I'm pretty sure I can hear breathing. That's not me. It's louder over in this corner by the bath. Okay, that's freaking me out. We're going to leave this place now. It's so dark. It's so dark that I'm getting kind of disoriented. Okay, I think it's this way.
Is there someone else in the house?
What?
Who the devil is that man? He had a knife. I'm completely in the dark here. I don't think he saw me.
He's not there anymore. Is he really there? I also can't hear his footsteps anymore. Sounded like a lock falling off. Don't know which side my code is going to be for. Which one of you is area B? It's 3, 4, 9, 8, 2. Not that one then. Okay, let's try the other side. 3, 4, 9, 8, 2. Yes, okay, so this is area B. And again, it is so dark. Let's just check over in the corner, make sure we're not going to miss anything. All of the little creaks have me paranoid now.
This
room.
must be Walter Brandon's room.
Ah. It's quite chaotic. Why is there a candlestick on the bed?
The diary of Walter Brandon. Perhaps it holds some clues about who he was, and what his involvement in this case might be.
I'm feeling suspicious of him.
I am terrified that man has found me. I fear something dreadful is about to happen. Tonight as I awoke, I saw him, standing at the foot of my bed. I could not make out his face, but his knife. The gleam of its blade shone in the darkness. I sprang up suddenly, determined to confront this stranger. Grabbing the heavy candlestick from the nightstand, I hurled it with all my strength. He vanished into the dark.
What on earth happened? Did Walter also see the mysterious man with the knife? It's absurd. This occurred 20 years ago. Surely that man can't still be lurking about. Can he?
Oh no. Okay, maybe I'm not suspicious of him.
Coming here was a grave mistake. He has followed me, watching and lurking in dark corners, waiting to surprise me. I dare not tell Elodie. She would think the one thing I dread most for her to believe. I see him again from the window, watching me. His long hair and beard obscure his face, and he still holds that knife. He means to kill me.
Or was he worried that she would think he was insane? Was he someone from the sea days?
I am losing my faculties. It is best I return to the ship. Everyone seems to be conspiring against me. The housekeeper despises me, accusing me of misconduct. Perhaps I'm not a man of refinement, but I know what respect is. Yet this morning, as I woke from my rest, she was enraged with me. It was of no use to tell her I had slept peacefully. An external maid who comes to clean was crying and accusing me of having approached her in an unseemly manner. I would never do such a thing. I am a sailor, a man of the world. I know how to conduct myself.
Oh, maybe I am kind of suspicious of him. Perhaps he was kind of sleepwalking or kind of has split personality?
An empty bottle. It smells of good rum.
That or the maid was intentionally lying.
A compass and a sextant. Tools of a sailor.
It does seem to me that the Countess was suspicious that he wasn't who he said he was.
A model ship. Mr. Brandon must have felt a deep yearning for the sea. The last entry in the diary, dated the very night of the murder.
My beloved Elodie, why can you not believe this poor sailor who only wishes to love you? I have left everything behind. My ship, the sea, all my world, just to be by your side as you asked me to. Damn it. I can hear the man with the knife coming up the stairs from the hall. I need to hide.
Walter was terrified. What in the devil was happening here? It seems this trunk was all Walter owned. I should take a look at it.
Was this guy real and he killed Elodie? It does sound like she had asked Walter to
A
leave.
photograph of Elodie. No doubt Walter cared for her deeply.
Or at least that she didn't believe him about the man.
Seems I'm not the only one with a fondness for hats.
Go steal his hat. Doesn't seem like an appropriate thing to do. Yeah.
Looks like the key to the back garden. I better head back to the staircase gallery. Pretty sure I saw a door to the outside there.
Why did he have the key for that? Maybe he used to go outside there with Elodie? Okay, it's actually really hard to get over. It's really hard to see where I'm going. It's putting me on edge now that I know that that man might appear.
The killer likely fled through the rear door of the house.
So could he have dropped any clues on the way? It's pretty open. Greenhouse there, but let's check this first.
At that old fountain in the garden, now little more than a basin of stagnant water, one can still make out the faint impressions of bloodied hands. It seems almost certain the killer stopped here, in a hurried attempt to wash away some of the blood spattered across his body.
I mean, those fingerprints wouldn't really help us right now. And then kept running towards the gate. Which is now locked.
The gate still bears the macabre traces of that old tragedy, like a silent witness, pointing to the path taken by that murderous beast as he fled.
But did he unlock it? Is that lock covered in blood because he held it in his hand and unlocked it? Because if so, where did he get the key from? Let's check inside the greenhouse. This is completely emptied.
Here's the missing kitchen knife. Undoubtedly the murder weapon.
Yeah. It's all covered in blood. So he came in here and left the knife here? His handprint is on there too.
A filthy coat, soaked in some kind of blackened, hardened liquid, aged over time.
Why did he come in here and... Ah, okay, so the boots are there too.
Despite his injuries, the killer rid himself of anything that might incriminate him before fleeing the scene. The boots, the coat, even the knife. It's a chilling thought, but those very items remind me of the figure seen lurking near the manor. The same figure Walter Brandon spoke of with such dread. And perhaps the very one who was said to have harassed the maids. That mysterious presence was, in all likelihood, the murderer of Lady Fordside.
Crowbar.
This ought to do the trick for that boarded-up room upstairs, just by Walter Brandon's room.
Yeah, we didn't explore the rest of that space, so okay, we can use this to go further around up there. Why were these clues never taken by the police? They really just said, oh, we've already arrested somebody on something unrelated, so let's just say that it was them. This was too complicated, maybe? They wanted a nice, easy solution. I think there's a little bit more garden to explore before we go back inside. Did he come out here for any reason? Yeah, Okay, we can't go around that way because of the fallen tree. There is a way onto the roof, but I guess there's no reason he'd have gone up there. He got ready, got washed, and then just led straight out the gate. Okay, let's go back up to Walter's room then. I almost feel like I need to sneak. I know I can go faster, but this is the room we need to break through. Oh, another art room? Storage room? To this day, 3 years since his disappearance, I still catch myself entering this room, expecting to find him there, exhausted yet sleepless, labouring without pause, shut away for days on end without food or rest, carving his final dreadful and chilling masterpiece. With those eyes, mad, haunted, the same eyes that seem to afflict every Fordside heir without exception. The very same enigmatic, sorrowful gaze I find myself recognising more and more in Elodie's face with each passing day. The day I saw her, scarcely 3 years old, create her first drawing, I knew then that she, too, was lost. I curse this wretched inheritance, so steeped in misfortune. Tomorrow I shall take Elodie to the sanatorium. With therapy, in a controlled environment, perhaps then she might begin to improve. I shall not allow the Fordside legacy to take Elodie from me as well. Oh, 3 years since the disappearance. That must be of the dad. So he disappeared 3 years before she died. And yeah, we noticed in that book that was in the room downstairs that all of the last, 4 generations of Fordside seem to have had really, really tragic stories. So this is true. They sent her to the asylum because they thought that she was kind of cursed with the same thing. I think that is also going to be the code for the other side here, 25741. I guess just a quick note to remember it, just scrawled at the bottom of the page. Some gargoyle drawings underneath that. So was this the room that her father used to sculpt in?
Unlabeled liquor bottles. The damp and the passing years have likely worn away whatever once marked them. There's a distinct scent of wormwood, the plant at the heart of absinthe.
Oh, so he was drinking really, really strong alcohol.
A sharpening wheel. Lord Fordside likely crafted his own chisels. Lord Fordside was a gifted artist, no doubt, but his work betrayed a dark and tormented soul. This unfinished fallen angel stirs in me a curious sense of unease, almost repulsion.
Yeah, that's unpleasant. And I'm sure that's rust, but it does kind of look like blood. He didn't finish it though. The blocks of stone are still here. So if this is his final work, he disappeared before he could finish it. The other code should lead us into this side. That was 25741. So 2, 5, 7, 4, 1. Okay, and the other side is unlocked. And before we step into this next dark room, I think this is a good place to pause for now before we explore the other half of the house, and then we should have one more area that we can unlock by finding the code. I really like this game so far. It's got a more horror element to it than I was expecting from the demo. The demo made me feel like it was more Sherlock Holmesy. Now I feel like there might actually be a kind of horror supernatural element to it. But I like that. Very dark, very gothic. And I'm looking forward to actually uncovering the mystery, because I'm still not convinced that Walter isn't something to do with this figure. Not just because it's following him. So thank you for watching, and if you are enjoying the episode, please consider subscribing and liking the video, and I will see you again soon. Bye. Let's see what new secrets the new wing holds then. I really hate how dark it is. We do this in order, or shall I check the hallway first? Let's give the hallway a quick check first. What's under that? Oh.
Him again. Who the bloody hell are you?
I'm by the tree. Is he looking at me? No, I think he's looking up at the branches of the tree. It's quite a big man. Okay, he's not moving, at least. Okay, let's actually do this in
door is
order.
locked.
Oh.
I'll need to find the key.
Is that her door? It's literally covered in blood. It looks like somebody broke their way through. The door frame's kind of warped. I wish that guy wasn't there. That's creepy.
This room looks like it belongs to a woman. Lady Margaret, perhaps? It's a damn fine bottle of wine. No one in their right mind would open a vintage like this and leave it abandoned, unless something rather urgent interrupted the evening.
This is what they were doing. Whoever's in this room, this is what they were doing on the night of the murder.
Seems Lady Margaret was reading in the chair that evening. The book's still open, right where she left it. The bed is made. The Countess hadn't yet gone to bed on the night of the murder.
So she lied then. She said that she took a sleeping draft and that's why she didn't hear anything. But she hadn't even gone to bed. She was still sitting there reading. Why would she want people to investigate it if she was lying?
This is a nightmare. I am deeply concerned for Elodie. The housekeeper has long been warning me about Walter. I have made some inquiries, and nothing is as it seems. Elodie remains blissfully happy with him in the house. I am at my wit's end. Since her return from the sanatorium, she has been positively radiant, a true beacon of light. They go out together and seem to have a splendid time. He appears very close to her. This is in stark contrast to the picture painted by the housekeeper, which is a complete contradiction.
Oh no, is that why the housekeeper left? Because of him? So she did suspect something. This is why she was checking the logs, the ship's logs, to see if he was lying. We take the keys? No. We're just continuing and that guy is potentially out there.
Last night I heard him scream. He seemed to be in the throes of a panic attack. I approached on tiptoe to the guest quarters, and then suddenly I was struck with terror. An insane, maniacal laughter echoed through the night. It did not sound like him. The following morning, Walter and Elodie went out to sail on the pond. Everything appeared normal, and he was the most charming he has ever been.
That could be because it wasn't actually him. Okay, so she was worrying, staying up at night. But Elodie was already having these terrifying kind of episodes, but I assume that's what she was painting. Or was she painting the shipwreck scenes after Walter got here?
Something made of glass has shattered here.
Oh my god, what is that noise? It's coming from Elodie's room.
So she did hear something, but she didn't go to check. So actually, it's not that she won't forgive herself for drinking a sleeping draught. Is it that she won't forgive herself because she didn't try to help Elodie?
The fireplace tools, all knocked over on the floor. And unless my eyes deceive me, the poker appears to be missing.
Oh my god, Elodie!
Lady Margaret, quite agitated, grabbed the fireplace poker and rushed toward Elodie's room.
What did she see?
I should finish gathering all the clues from the Countess's room before exploring other parts of the house.
Did she see anything then? Surely she must have.
A key. Likely the one to Elodie's room.
What is that noise?
Lady Margaret lied to me. She hadn't taken any sleeping draught that night. She could have heard the attack and rushed to see what was happening. Why did she hide this from me? The more I investigate, the more convoluted it all seems. I should head to Elodie's room to search for answers.
Keep expecting to see that man now. What's at the end of the hallway? Oh, that made me jump. It's just a statue. And actually, quite a normal one. Not a creepy one. He's still down there. He's not, right? Wait. Oh, I guess I saw him from the other side. Did I? Oh wow, this is trashed.
A pool of dried blood. There's no doubt now. This was the scene of the crime.
Doesn't look like she was lying down. She had that painting of the screaming woman in her room. There's blood everywhere. Okay, this is going to be, I guess, the main room for clues.
There was a struggle here. Clear as day. Not a clean break-in. The killer wasn't subtle.
And she definitely wasn't asleep, so she saw whoever it was.
Photograph of Lady Fordside and Walter Brandon. If my memory serves me right, looks like it was taken at Westland Asylum. A rag doll, tossed on the floor. I'd wager it used to sit neatly on the bed. Either it was knocked over in the scuffle, or perhaps Elodie dropped it herself in the panic. Judging by the sheer brutality of the crime, we can almost certainly conclude the killer was a man of considerable build. The blood-stained coat, found alongside the greenhouse knife, suggests that the mysterious figure seen loitering nearby may, in fact, be the very same individual who committed the murder. They say the killer always returns to the scene of the crime. But 20 years have passed. Why now? Let's attempt to reconstruct the events. just as they might have unfolded that night, and try to understand precisely what happened.
They definitely seem like the same person. I agree, it seems like a big man, but unless Elodie is quite big, that can't be Walter. It must actually be a different person.
A teacup on the bedside table. Elodie must have lain down that night, perhaps already drifting to sleep. The door's
Broken
lock, completely broken, indicates someone forced their way into the room, likely startling Elodie awake.
Then they scuffled.
Elodie tried to flee, but the killer cornered her near the vanity. She lost her balance and fell, breaking the dresser and chair.
Is that the poker? Possibly. And that's the knife that we found outside, right? Or is it? It must be. And then where? Over here?
The killer dragged her to the bed against her will. In the struggle, one of the vases fell from the mantelpiece. On the bed, the killer stabbed her mercilessly, again and again, staining the sheets with blood.
Oh, poor Elodie.
That's when Lady Margaret arrived, striking the killer with the fireplace poker, knocking him away from Elodie.
So she saw exactly who it was then.
Wounded, the killer fled the scene, but it was already too late. Elodie was already dead.
This is strange.
The old Bloomsbury mansion. It choked my thoughts. It had that kind of sadness that seeps into your bones like old damp, and that sudden abandonment, so clear before my eyes, looked like a sinister time capsule.
Is it himself or is it a different person? He was hiding something, definitely. But why was she hiding the fact that she'd seen someone? Does she not think? It's so weird.
One thing was certain. My next move was to dig up answers about the man with the knife, and about Walter Brandon, the sailor from Westland Asylum, an old, forgotten sanatorium that, 20 years ago, was the scene of a meeting between Lady Fordside and that Brandon fellow.
Lament of the forgotten. The old sanatorium loomed in the distance, silent and solemn, a monument to forgotten suffering. It stood like a sleeping giant, its walls steeped in the horrors of another age. John knew that crossing its threshold meant stepping into the labyrinth of the human mind, where the madness of some and the cold indifference of others had turned places like this into breeding grounds for nightmares. A creeping unease settled in as he neared the entrance, a whisper of dread curling at the edges of his thoughts. Yet he pressed on. He needed answers, and he was certain they lay waiting in the dark. This is going to be an abandoned sanatorium, isn't it? This is actually going to be even creepier than the mansion.
It was an ungodly hour when my battered car crept along the winding, shadowed road leading to Westland Asylum.
Foreboding crows everywhere. Still very gothic.
What I found upon arrival was disquieting. The building, forsaken for more than a decade, remained illuminated. Was it some ancient emergency system defying the passage of time? Or was someone awaiting my arrival?
This place is huge. That's quite an unsettling statue to have. It looks like it's like in mourning with the veil. My own footsteps sound very loud. Will it be open?
The front door, sealed shut. As expected. Nothing's ever straightforward, is it? I'll have to find another way in.
Perhaps the back entrance. I imagine it's going to be pretty secure. I mean, it was an asylum, so there's not going to be too many entrances and exits. Oh, though this looks broken. Ah, okay, so the electricity is just generally still on. Gilbert, I am leaving now. I have gathered all my belongings, but I see that yours are still here. I have had to return the key to the front entrance, but the passageway leading to the back courtyard remains. I've covered it up a bit, but I'm sure you'll remember where it is. The kitchen window was broken, and quite frankly, I don't believe anyone will come to mend it. You should be able to get in through there without any trouble. Take care. Ah, okay. I wonder who Gilbert was. We need to find this slightly hidden passageway to the back courtyard
So,
and then...
there's an alternative
window.
entrance, hidden somewhere in the wall of the asylum.
Wish they'd given more of a clue than that. To the back courtyard. Back here. Need my lantern. Oh, do I not still have the lantern? Did I put the lantern back? That was silly. Just go right up against... Okay, I don't think there's anything there. The other side then, I guess. Is there an additional light there? Or is that just reflecting on the grass? Just a strange reflection. Aha, there it is. That was really not very secure for the asylum. I wonder how many people have ever escaped from here. And then the kitchen window is broken, so I need to find where the kitchen window would be. Ah, there.
Bloody hell, it's pitch black in here. Looks like I've stumbled into what could be the kitchen.
Definitely the kitchen. Hopefully I can find some kind of light, torch, something in here. The door open?
Impossible. Locked as well.
Matches, even? Lantern? At least there's more light over here.
Damn it. The lantern. It's broken. I'll have to manage without it for now.
I couldn't take it out before. That. The wind? Can't make out the things on the old notice board. Wait. Guess this was the dining room. Is that just all broken stuff? Even the wall has fallen down. No, that's the front entrance, I guess. So we've gone round, completely round to the front. I don't know whether the lights being on is comforting or actually worse somehow, because we didn't turn them on. Why is there a bloodied handprint?
A bloody handprint. Someone injured must have leaned against this wall.
Oh, the murderer came back here, didn't he? This is where he came, after he murdered Elodie. That's the same picture from the brochure that was left in Elodie's house. Maybe we can find some information from the reception area?
Westland Asylum was a top place in its good old days.
Under the esteemed direction of Dr. Mulder with distinguished consultation of Dr. Sheridan, even, expert in modern therapeutic methods, compassion, understanding, and advanced techniques of mental health care marking the start of recovery. Dr. Mulder's guidance and Drahendian's progressive therapy insights providing effective treatments for nervous ailments, melancholia, hysteria, and other mental disturbances. Services included are restorative rest cures, modern electrotherapy applications, okay, getting a bit darker there, talk therapy and moral treatment. What's moral treatment? Personalized occupational activities, holistic and humane care. Westland Asylum stands at the fore of psychiatric advancement, merging experience and innovation while treating each patient with the dignity of hope. I'm skeptical. I guess they wouldn't have left patient logs in here.
May 1922. This letter was written half a year before Elodie's murder. It's possible she was still a patient here at the time.
Good point. So it was to Dr. Mulder. Sir, in view of the escalating violent incidents within this institution since the arrival of patient B03, we, the undersigned, feel it is our duty to express the following concerns on behalf of the sanitary support staff. Patient B03 requires specialized care and strict oversight, necessitating immediate confinement in the isolation cell. Access to shared or public spaces should be allowed only under the supervision of 2 attendants equipped with tranquilizing injectables. The recent incidents have underscored grave deficiencies in this institution's security measures, revealing its unpreparedness to house patients with such a high degree of aggression. We strongly urge the hospital administration to implement decisive measures without delay. Should our concerns remain unaddressed, we will be compelled to escalate this matter to the National Asylum Workers Union, which has been made aware of our grievances. Respectfully, Nurse Florence Norman. On behalf of the sanitary support staff. Okay, this was the murderer, wasn't it? Did he escape?
The nurses were genuinely concerned about the aggression of patient B03.
Need to find out more about him. There's nothing else in here. Everything else was taken. We get inside the first aid room.
The girl? How is the girl?
You mean Miss Elodie Fordside. Don't worry, that bloke didn't lay a finger on her. But you took quite a knock. This is going to smart.
What? That That doesn't look like the murderer, though. It doesn't look like the guy who was in the... I guess we are imagining that, though. It doesn't look like the guy that was in the room when we were picturing what happened, but he does have a gash to the head. But what do you mean she wasn't harmed? She very much was harmed. She was murdered. Unless this is an incident that happened in the asylum and it's not to do with what happened outside. To all staff and family members of the patients, on the forthcoming Tuesday, the 6th of April 1932, and as previously announced, the closure of this institution shall take place. Within the span of 1 month, this sanatorium shall be fully closed, and the patients will be transferred to other hospitals in the area according to their individual needs. As for the staff, you may request any outstanding payments and severance compensation proportional to the time worked at the administration office, which shall remain open for 1 additional week following the closure, from 10 AM to 5 PM. For your convenience, we kindly request that you schedule an appointment. The final working and insurable day shall be Monday, the 4th of April, 1932.
The asylum was shut down 10 years ago. Judging by the state it's in, they probably had no choice but to close it due to the building's condition.
Or was it just that? There's going to be a lot to explore here. So we've got the staircase there. Oh, that's actually blocked. I can't get up the stairs that way. There is an elevator. Let's make sure we've explored everything down here before we try to go up, though. That room is too destroyed to get into. Calendar's still up from February. We can't see the date exactly on that. It looks like it's 19 something. Quite creepy pictures of skulls and heads there. Why would you need that in a sanatorium? Unless we were doing some weird like phrenology stuff with skulls. The office looks suspiciously used. Hardly been touched. Literally looks like somebody's just still in here. University of Parapsychology. John Simons.
This file cabinet is now empty. It probably held all the records of the inpatients.
That's disappointing. Memorandum. Pursuant to the established protocols and regulations of the Westland Asylum, in preparation for the forthcoming annual report to the Board of Trustees, Dr. Lenore Sheridan will retain custody of the patient records for a duration of 5 days. Members of the medical staff requiring access to these records during this interval are advised to direct their inquiries to Dr. Sheridan's office between the hours of 9 AM and 3 PM. Shelma Crenton, Administrative Secretary.
I need to find Dr. Sheridan's office.
Yes, we do. That also makes it sound to me like they weren't doing things entirely to the book here. Surely that can't be normal. Can't see what any of the books are. Got 2 desks here. University of Parapsychology again for Fred Johnson this time. Daily reports on the wall. This is the main one, I guess.
We must formalize the admission of Miss Elodie Fordside. I have her file here.
That girl? What do you think of her?
I don't quite know. She seems a good girl. I do hope she recovers soon.
I know what Dr. Mulder thinks of her.
Oh, don't be wicked.
You cannot tell me you haven't noticed. Have you seen the way he looks at her?
Shh, hush now. Someone's coming.
So the doctor was interested in Elodie. Anything else on this desk that could be of use? Quite a lot of anatomical drawings, considering. Let's have a look at our case and characters. So this is Selma, the head nurse. A woman with a strong temperament. She does not tolerate disagreements or being contradicted in any way. Deep down, her weariness and disinterest show, a result of deep apathy after so many years trapped in a routine she cannot escape. Despite her strict rules, everyone considers her an excellent professional with many years of experience behind her. And she was talking to Florence Norman. Fresh out of nursing school, Miss Norman found a position at this institution. Her academic record was outstanding, and the hospital's management had no hesitation in hiring her as an assistant to head nurse Selma Crenton. Florence's youth and enthusiasm contrast sharply with the strictness and rigidity of Nurse Crenton, whose protocols and rules feel suffocating to Florence. We actually have Matthew Garbry as well, head of maintenance at Westland. His ability to fix any malfunction and above all his kind nature towards the patients made him a beloved and popular figure within the asylum. Traces of his presence can still be found throughout the building. It is possible that the county authorities continue to pay him a small stipend to ensure this historic estate is maintained at a minimal level of preservation. Okay, so actually Matthew Garbry probably has the lights on in here, and he's the guy who was hit in the head. So there is no correlation between him and the murderer. That could have been the same guy that hit him in the head, I guess, but it was a different incident. We actually have an entrance for the Knife Man, a shadowy figure always lurking with a blade in hand. His origins are shrouded in mystery. No one knows who he is or what drives him. Yet when he's near, the air turns cold and danger feels like an inevitable companion. You can sense him in the darkness, watching, waiting, his motives as elusive as the shadows he haunts. Who the devil is this man? Is he the true killer of Elodie? What could he possibly be seeking in the mansion 20 years after the murder? All excellent questions, honestly. I'm still really intrigued by this bookcase. I wish we could get a book. Let's see if we can find... Yeah, the office is. There's a phone. Where's the phone? Where is the phone? Is it on here? Ah, there.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Mr. Morley, is that you?
Lady Margaret?
Oh. Good, it's just you.
Mr. Morley, I'm so relieved to hear your voice. I've been trying to reach your office, but I couldn't get through to anyone.
It's awfully late at night, Lady Margaret. How on earth did you know I was at Westland Asylum?
Well, I was already in bed, truth be told. But there was something on my mind. A vital detail I'd forgotten to mention.
Are you being serious?
I called your office, searched for you at the mansion, and when I couldn't find you there, I assumed you might be investigating at the asylum.
I see. Very resourceful of you. Now tell me, what is this detail of such importance?
Oh yes, of course. I almost forgot. You see, the truth is, I'm afraid that you're not alone.
What the devil does that mean? Hello? Lady Margaret?
What? What is wrong with this woman? I don't understand what she wants. She has no interest in me finding out what happened to her daughter, does she? What was that noise? I think we should... I'm doubting myself, but I think we should finish exploring over here before we go down there. Partly because I kind of don't want to see whoever's down there waiting for me. This might be locked. Ah, Yeah, it needs a key code. That's the archive. And what's this? The East Wing. And of course that's locked, right? So the only way we can go is down towards the horrifying noise that just happened. I'm guessing this is also going to be out of action.
It's locked. Without the key, I won't be able to access the upper floors. Is someone there?
It's so
Damn it.
dark.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Is that blood or rust? It looks a lot like blood. No. What is that? The mains? Ah, for the elevator. Okay, so who used to be down here? Wait. Was the wheelchair tracking blood in here? Which way? Like a labyrinth. I don't like this at all. If there's somebody else in here who knows their way around while I don't. It's B03. The aggressive one.
Internal report. Patient B03. Identity unknown. Male, early 30s. Admitted after being the cause of a series of violent incidents. The patient exhibits a disturbing duality. Episodes of unprovoked, nearly superhuman aggression, displaying raw, overwhelming physical force, and subsequent plunges into an eerie, profound apathy. His faculties appear suspended during these lulls, leaving him in a state of unnerving inertia. Due to the unpredictability of his violent outbursts, he remains confined within a reinforced cell. Treatment involves high doses of sedatives, potassium bromide or morphine, and a regimented course of electroconvulsive therapy, alongside stringent restraints, such as an anti-biting mask and, if required, an iron muzzle.
Wow.
Ongoing monitoring is maintained.
This can't be Walter. That can't be the same person. It does say a disturbing duality, which immediately made me think maybe it is. But if he's just completely inert when he's not aggressive, Walter was like functioning normally. Guess they don't open them. Do any of them? Okay, well they're very broken. That one at least doesn't fall off. B02.
Internal report. Patient B02. Mr. Norbert Clark, 45, from Sanderson, is a persistent pyromaniac whose actions have repeatedly endangered both property and life. Despite his seemingly frail build, he harbors an alarming compulsion for fire setting, a tendency exacerbated by intermittent episodes of disorganized thought and incoherent speech under duress. His unsettling, fixed gaze suggests the planning of covert schemes, amplifying his threat. To mitigate risk, he is isolated in a secure cell, thoroughly cleared of flammable materials. His management includes a regimented program of sedatives and antipsychotic medications to stabilize his manic and schizoid symptoms, with vigilant oversight maintained.
only one that opens. Oh wow, this is literally a padded cell. Full of broken furniture. Oh. It goes through to the next one. And that is a very locked door. Well, at least we've managed to get some more electricity going, I guess. One's very dark. Oh no, what happened in here? We can't see whose patient report this is. How did so much blood get in here? Did they die in here? E07. Again, there's blood in here. They didn't kill the patients, did they?
Internal report. Patient B08, Miss Beatrice Maren, female, 28, reclassified after initial misidentification. Miss Maren presents with severe self-destructive behavior. She engages in autosarcophagy, self-cannibalism that has markedly compromised her physical integrity, and compulsively ingests her own hair. These actions, driven by deep psychological torment and overwhelming despair, leave her in a perilously fragile state. As a precaution, she is secured in a straitjacket and confined to an environment entirely devoid of any utensils or objects that might facilitate further self-harm.
Wow.
Her treatment protocol centers on the administration of potent sedatives to alleviate anxiety and curb these impulses, with ongoing monitoring.
I mean, it sounds all official, but it also sounds a lot like they were just sedating everybody. E11. Is there a chain in here? They form it into a noose? And a broken chair underneath. This is really disturbing. What was happening at this asylum? And I think we've switched all of those now. That mean that I can go up here? Yeah, okay. We've got that working. But I need the key. Can I do it again? Do I need to do them? Open door, cold to warm. Ah, they need to be done in order. Blue, yellow, green, red. That one's yellow. That was wrong. Okay, now I need to remember where they all were because I was not thinking about that. Okay, let me double check it. So we've got blue, yellow, green and red, definitely. That's the green. There's the blue over here. That one's red. Okay, I think I'm going to have to set it again by pressing the red. Oh, that happened to... Is it... Why is it an electric chair? Is that an electric chair? Oh, this is the electrotherapy room.
This room gives me the shivers.
Absolutely. Aha. E-string access key. And the files. Transfer notes. Patient B03. Transfer of patient to area M. Following several sessions of electroconvulsive therapy, ECT, the patient has shown significant improvement. Previous violent episodes have been entirely eradicated, and the patient now presents with a profound state of apathy, characterized by emotional attachment and a notable lack of response. His interactions are limited to monosyllabic utterances with no signs of aggression or emotional reaction. This behavior may be attributable to the intensification of treatment, as well as a potential underlying psychological condition that we must continue to investigate. It is anticipated that, with continued observation, the patient will gradually regain his ability to communicate and exhibit emotional responses. However, the complexities of the case should be taken into consideration, along with the need for potential adjustments to his ongoing treatment. Given the control of violent tendencies and stabilization of his condition, it is deemed appropriate to transfer the patient to Area M, a less restrictive environment. Though under strict supervision, close monitoring is recommended to assess any potential changes in behavior, with the possibility of further adjustments to his medication. Dr. Sheridan. So these files were supposed to be going to Dr. Sheridan's office, which makes it seem like this was basically his office, which is a bit scary. Also seems like they literally electrocuted this man to an extent that he just lost all ability to even speak. Even makes me feel a little bit bad for him. To be fair, we don't know for definite that he's the murderer. It just seems incredibly likely. A terrifying room. Okay, I am trapped. I'm trapped.
I need to hide. Quickly.
In here? Is this a hiding place? Oh my god, I'm so nervous.
I can't hear it. Could it be gone?
I think he is gone. Is he real? That's my question at the moment, because the first time he appeared, I also saw him, got scared, hid, and then he just disappeared. I was unprepared for this game to take this much of a horror turn, honestly. Emotionally unprepared. Just checking. Ah, right. Okay, into the next wing. I wonder whether I'll be able to find the key to the archive room. Maybe it will be in here. Kind of want to start locking the doors behind me. This one. Was that me? I'm so on edge now. Why is there food here? Is it old?
A cigarette case. with a bit of tobacco still inside. Clean water, an apple, a bit of bread. The food's still fresh.
That's worrying. Okay, not worrying. Matthew Garbury, maintenance. It's the maintenance guy. Who seemed like he was okay, right?
A maintenance uniform. Oddly well prepared. Not a speck of dust on it.
So he's still here, keeping
Looks
things
like
maintained.
someone's been coming through here. Perhaps this is what Lady Margaret meant in her call. Or was she trying to warn me about something else?
The maintenance tools do end up looking oddly like a box of weapons. It could be. She could have phoned to say you're not on your own because somebody actually still works at the asylum. Maybe she got cut off? But it's definitely him. And, okay, nothing in the dark corner over here. The stairs. We can finally get up onto the next floor. There's going to be rooms, patient rooms? Oh no, it is. Okay, Dr. Straussend. Locked. Males' rooms. Is this going to be the M ward that he was moved to? Numbers. One, two. And then beyond here it is just too destroyed to get past.
I'd rather not go through there. Looks ready to cave in at any moment.
Does. I'm going to need to find something with the key codes for the doors on. Maybe it will be in the doctor's office, but I'm going to need to find the key for that first. The bathroom? It's literally impossible to see in there. This side of it's not open either. Can't go up another flight of stairs though. Somebody is on this floor. Dr. Sheridan.
Here it is. Dr. Sheridan's office. This is where I'll find Elodie and Walter's records.
That looks a lot like the murderer.
Wait. No, it can't be. There he is. In the photo. Dr. Sheridan in the center. And right next to him, it's him. The man with the knife. That wild mane, that unkempt beard, it's unmistakable. But what's he doing here? And he's holding a book. I need to get to the library.
That's why we might need that shelf. Why is he holding that?
Elodie's record. Patient at the sanatorium.
Okay, so on their records, they've got she was admitted on the 14th of December 1921. Wow, they admitted her just before Christmas. She was discharged on the 17th of October 1922. But she was here for a while. Miss Lady Fordside was admitted to this asylum upon the directive of her mother, Lady Margaret Fordside, a notable benefactress of this institution. I'm starting to feel really suspicious of the mother now. Patient exhibits a persistently low mood, a tendency towards social withdrawal, and recurrently negative thoughts. Lady Fordside expressed concern over the risk of the patient engaging in self-harming behaviour. She didn't mention that to us. Preliminary observations. During the initial evaluation, the patient displayed a withdrawn posture, delayed responses, and consistent avoidance of eye contact. She reported feeling trapped in a constant state of oppression and described a persistent sense of unease, though she refrained from providing further detail. Her condition necessitates close observation and a progressive therapeutic approach to monitor and assess any changes. Hereby, the admission of Miss Fordside to our institution is formally recorded. A detailed follow-up of her progress will be maintained. And that was from Dr. Mulder. Walters?
Nothing of interest here. Strange. Elodie's record was easy to find, but there's no sign of anything related to Walter Brandon. Something doesn't add up. What am I missing?
Dr. Sheridan, first and foremost, I must acknowledge the commendable results you've achieved with your recreational reading therapy. It is evident that the escapism and the avenues offered by literary fiction have contributed significantly to alleviating the anxiety of our patients. However, I regret to inform you that one of your patients, Miss Lady Fordside, will no longer participate in your reading sessions. Given that she is the daughter of the esteemed Mrs. Margaret Fordside, I deem it unsuitable for her to associate with certain individuals whose questionable moral standing may have an adverse effect on the delicate mind of the young lady. It is best that she be kept apart from such influences. Therefore, I am relieving you of any responsibility for her care, and I shall take over the management of Miss Lady Fordside's treatment from this day forward. I have already communicated this decision to her mother, Lady Margaret. I trust you will understand the necessity of this change. Dr. Frederick Mulder. And a handwritten note at the bottom. Questionable morality? Don't make me laugh, Friedrich. What truly eats away at you is the fear that those bad influences might actually be too good for her. What is it you truly aspire to? A seat among the nobility, perhaps? You're a pathetic hypocrite, consumed by your own ego. Wow, that was brutal. I guess Dr. Sheridan wrote that. And Mulder was the one who liked Elodie, right? What was that?
What was that noise? Sounds like something just came crashing down.
Oh, that genuinely made me jump. Is that going to be that wall? The wall that looked kind of dodgy? My heart. What is the door over here first? Did the floor just fall down? It actually did, but it kind of provided a ladder. I should have checked the door down there before I did this. This is extremely dangerous. Wow. Okay, so we've got doors to the staircase there. Can I, like, creep over here very gently? There he is again. Do I open the door? Room here. Maybe I can go in there if I need to. Who are you? Is it the doctor? This mystery is just actually deepening. Why isn't Walter a patient file? What was this room? It looks like dissection. Dear Dr. Mulder, the books you requested are now available in the archive. You may pick them up at your convenience. Here is the new entry code. Ah, the entry code for the archive. Anything that happens to have been left be on the floor. This is really weird, right? What is this? Dr. Mulder was obviously working in here because he had his note. Let's see what the... I can't tell what's in the bottles. We're on the board. Oh, okay, that's actually a dead end up there. You can only go down from here. Where does down take us? Are we back down in the... Ah, we're back down in the entrance, right? Getting slightly disoriented. Yeah, that's the kitchen. I'm so on edge now. I keep expecting to see that man. Okay. Is this where we're going to be able to find the book that was held by?
Shelves of medical texts. Nothing useful to me just now.
No. But maybe we could find the book that was held by the murderer in that picture. Let's get into the archive. So the code was 89981. 8998 1. Yes. Oh. 4-shot test. What do we see? Creepy things. Apart from number 4. Number 4 looks like a moth. Today's code to open the key box. The moth. Oh. 4? Well, we need 5 numbers. The moth. Am I just thinking of that because I literally just said number 4 looks like a moth? Let's explore the room a bit more first. For the psychology test using the Rorschach test? Is that how you say that? The ink blot test will use the following code to name the plates. Oh, this way the patient will not be able to obtain information about their evaluation unless their therapist deems it appropriate. So plate number 4, which I said looked like a moth, is 00100. Why did I go that way? Okay. As if all the keys have been taken out. Okay, we've at least got one. The key to the lift. The key to the mail rooms has already been taken out. See if we can find anything to do with Walter in here. All emptied. But there's nothing in that. And then just a lot of bottles. Metratian? And books, but just a lot of generic ones. Ah, apart from this one. Oh no, that's just the paper. Well, at least we can use the lift now. Let's see where this can take us. I hate elevators. Why are elevators automatically so creepy? What does that do? Okay, we can go to... Well, we can go down. I assume we're on 0 here. Ooh. You got 0. Floor 1, floor 2. A, I guess, is the attic. I haven't picked up a clue as to where I should go in terms of that, have I? Let's go to 2. Whoa. Okay, that made me jump. Okay, so that was 1. I already explored that hallway. This is 2, and I don't remember what was here. Have I been in here? What floor is this? I don't think I have been up here. Okay. No, this is definitely new. It is unlocked. This is really wrecked, but I can at least get in here. What was this? Like a sitting room? Somebody's office? Before? Or is it for the patients to kind of sit and read? Lights falling down over there. It still works. That freaks me out for some reason. The art therapy room. Now surely there's going to be a clue in here. This is them doing art therapy. Good painting of a doctor. I'll be really surprised if there's no trace. Of course, the terrifying pictures. Ah, it's him. Okay, that really made me jump. My heart can't take this. But yeah, that... Is this her again? Painting these? It doesn't actually look exactly like her style. So it could be somebody else. But she did tend to paint like terrifying faces. If it wasn't her, then... All of the other patients saw this guy? Guess that would make sense if he was a patient himself. Oh, Dr. Muller. Okay. Can I get into your office? Key code. Can't get to the staircase on this side. Wow, this is a huge room. Is this... Oh, this is the library. Maybe I can find the book that guy was holding in the picture. Self-help. Technology. Maureen. Finally, patient 1365 has returned the book. Every time they borrow it, it takes a month to bring it back. When it's not him, it's that girl. I can't even imagine how many times they've read it. But there are other patients who have also requested it. And I've made the decision to take it off the shelf and place it under the custody of the one who opened the golden box. If anyone asks for it, it will be there. Wilson, librarian. The one who opened the golden box? Like, Pandora? Why did everybody want this book? Oh, there's Pandora. Okay. Painting of Pandora. The myth of psychology. In the shadows of forgotten myths lies the story of Psyche, the soul herself, driven by longing to reunite with her lost love, Cupid, also known as Eros, god of love, desire, and irresistible attraction. Her path leads downward, into the depths of the underworld. There she must retrieve a golden box, said to contain a trace of Persephone's beauty. Persephone, goddess of spring and fertility, and yet also the somber queen of the dead. But Psyche is warned, do not open the box. Still, hope is a dangerous thing. Perhaps she believed that a touch of divine beauty would make her worthy again in Cupid's eyes. Perhaps it was simply curiosity, that old companion of tragedy. She opens the box. But there is no beauty inside, only darkness. A deathly sleep seeps out, wrapping her in silence. Her body falls still, suspended between life and death. And so she enters the hidden kingdom, realm of madness. Okay. I can see why they might have put this away as a book, because that's probably not very helpful for the patients. Also, I said Persephone. Persephone is the one that goes to live in the underworld and eats the pomegranate. Psyche is the one that opens the box. So when it says on the note that the girl is also always borrowing it, I'm guessing this is Walter and Eloise. They must have been reading it, right? We've got some psychiatry books over here. Internal note on patient organisation and cataloguing. For the swift and proper cataloguing of patients, a system of labelling is employed in which each patient is assigned a number corresponding to the room they occupy. The passcode to access each patient's cell is the discharge number assigned upon admission. Oh, this number must be consulted in the admissions register or in the individual patient record. Should a patient be transferred to another location within the institution, their cataloguing will be amended according to the new room to which they were assigned. Okay, so will it be the original one or the new one? Sounds like the new one. Patients classified as dangerous, whether to themselves or others, are housed in the basement in specially adapted cells designed to ensure their isolation and safety. This area is designated as Area B. The ground floor contains the common areas of the establishment, such as the kitchen, dining hall and administrative office, where matters relating to paperwork are handled. A small first aid room and the archive containing all records and documents pertaining to staff and inmates are also located here. The doctor's offices are situated on the second floor, which is the designated area for medical care. However, an exception is made for the office of Dr. Mulder, the director of the sanatorium, who occupies the third floor. On the second floor, one will also find the rooms of male patients, Area M, and female patients, Area F. It is important to note that the attic, which was previously used as a recreation room and for therapeutic activities, is being permanently closed due to its unsuitable and unsafe structural condition. This system of organisation and cataloguing has been designed to maintain proper control and safety of all inmates, as well as to ensure efficiency in the management of the various sections of the asylum. Thelma Creanton, the administrative secretary for Westland Asylum. Okay, so we can get into the rooms, basically, if we find the discharge numbers, but that could be a problem because they were... do I have them? Do I have his one? I don't, do I? Under psychology, one book stands out.
The Adventures of Walter Brandon, the intrepid captain of the Stella Maris, braving the treacherous South Seas. What in the devil does this mean?
Oh no. When Captain Walter Brandon in his sloop is caught in the midst of a violent storm, it seems his fate is sealed. But by some miracle he manages to survive, clinging to a splintered spar from his wrecked vessel. After enduring a long ordeal at sea, he washes ashore on a distant island, where he will live for many months and encounter no end of wild adventures. Okay. So this is Walter. It even looks just like Walter. Walter's not a real person. So who decided to pretend to be Walter? Is this that guy? Oh no. It was him, wasn't it? It was him pretending to be Walter. And then he'd switch. And become the aggressive, violent inmate again. That's why Walter disappeared after the death of Elodie. Okay. We need to get the code for Dr. Muller. And we need to see if we can get the discharge numbers for the people whose rooms we need to look in. Sleeping here. One of the, like a security guard maybe? One of the doctors. Is this room? Somebody's file? And medication?
Patient recording, Lady Fordside, February 3rd, 1922. Daily record number 23. Let us begin. How are you feeling today, Miss Fordside?
I feel well.
Elodie, we have discussed this before. If you do not tell me how you truly feel, we will make no progress.
I feel a little sad, perhaps. I am alone here. I miss my mother and having company. So much time with nothing to do makes me think of things I do not wish to think of.
I see. Listen, Elodie. I believe you are looking at this the wrong way. If, instead of dwelling on what you call dark thoughts, you were to focus on possibilities, your outlook would change entirely. A young, beautiful woman such as yourself should look to the future with excitement. Think of all the adventures that lie ahead. Your family, your career as a painter. Perhaps even finding a man of good standing.
Oh no.
One who could protect you from your demons.
A man?
Tell me, Elodie, is there no man who stirs your heart?
What in God's name do you think you're doing?
Miss Fordside, you may go. We shall continue later.
Very well.
Have you lost your mind? Where is your professionalism?
Do not presume to judge my methods with your oh-so-righteous reading therapy.
Methods? The entire hospital is whispering about you. She is a patient, Dr. Mulder, and she is mentally unwell.
Listen, Ferdinand. Stay out of my affairs, and I shall stay out of yours. Or have you forgotten which one of us is the director of this institution?
Do as you please. But if I ever witness such a scene again, I will not remain silent.
Wow.
Damn fool.
He's the director. You are a creep. Dr. Mulder, age 42. Dr. Mulder represents the other face of psychiatric medicine. Arrogant and vehement, he exudes an air of contempt and underestimation towards patients. A firm supporter of shock therapy and violence, he harbours strong aversion to Dr. Sheridan's innovative treatments and actively hinders his experiments whenever possible. Recently, he showed an unusual interest in a patient named Elodie, even going so far as to remove her from Dr. Sheridan's care, under whom she'd been showing significant improvement. Could they be the same person? They do look kind of similar. Oh, I don't know. Dr. Sheridan represents the modern approach that society should take towards mental illness. His innovative techniques and insatiable hunger for experimentation have opened new doors in the care and treatment of patients. One experiment in particular has drawn interest. He allowed a group of male and female patients to interact freely and found that their spirits calmed, reaching remarkable levels of emotional stability. So he probably got fired, right? If he's the director. Okay, I think that's everything that I can explore over here. Hopefully I'll find the code for Dr. Muller's office on a different floor. So we're going to have to try a different floor on the elevator now, because I can't get anywhere else. Now, I did have a lot of information from the library about what's on each floor, but I still don't really know where to go. I can go down to the first floor, and that should be where the murderer's room was, because he was considered violent. But I'm not going to be able to get into it if I can't find his... What's that noise? Don't like random creaking noises. If I can't find his discharge number, I won't be able to open the room anyway. We might not properly be able to explore the attic if it's really crumbled. That note did suggest that it was dangerous. So we see what we can find in the attic. In case there's something I can take down with me then to the basement. Oh, this has got a padlock on it. At least looks like I can walk around in there. But I'm going to need the key. Let's go up to 1 just to make sure that I can't see anything new now that I've unlocked the elevator. It won't hurt to have these open anymore. Yeah, that was... Did I... Oh, wait, was there a file in here? Okay, I've got Elodie's one. Do I? Is that what I need? It gives me her date of discharge. It gives me her registration number. It didn't say registration number. It said her discharge number. Oh, God. That was evil. That was evil. There's not even anything in here. That was cruel. That made me jump so much. You know what? I feel like I must have missed something in the newer areas. I need keys and codes, so maybe I'm just not noticing codes. I know there was nothing in the art room, because that was literally just one picture, and there was no writing on the picture. That has a code. But we did just check in there. Let's try the library again. Patient 1365 has returned the book. Okay, my first impression was that this would be Elodie and Walter who were taking out the, like, romantic book. Oh, kind of romantic. Terrifying. Weird psychological romantic, but I guess that's kind of what their relationship was. So, if I found a room that was Walter's room, that would be a patient number on that. But if I found a room that was Walter's room, then that would be the code for it. That was just the, explaining to me where everything was. Definitely can't pick up any other books. Nothing else there. Just
The
that
Adventures
one.
of Walter Brandon. the intrepid captain of the Stella Maris, braving the treacherous South Seas.
It does
What
actually.
in the devil does this mean?
It does actually say that patient 1365 was the last loan. Where were the rooms again? Let's see if we can use that code on a room. Was that one floor down? It was, wasn't it? Okay, the men's rooms. Try this one. I'm literally just going to put it into everyone until one of them opens. Please open. 1, 3, 6, 5. Oh, it actually is the first door. He has a ship's wheel tied to his bed. He's made the whole room look like the Stella Maris. Oh no, is he just like a fantasist? Very rusty key.
This must be the key to the attic. Let's see where it leads.
Why did he have the key to the attic? Dear Walter, there's something about you that I cannot ignore. A quiet strength, a resolve that feels unshakable. The thought of all you've endured fills me with a kind of admiration I can scarcely put into words. You are unlike anyone I've ever met. And yet, I wonder if you sense it too. Those stolen glances, the way time seems to pause when our eyes meet. Perhaps it's nothing, or perhaps it's everything. I'm not sure if you're aware, but the night watchman rarely checks the attic on weekends. Some evenings during those quiet moments before we're all sent to bed, I like to slip away and wander up there. There's a peculiar stillness in that place, a kind of peace I find nowhere else. Tonight at 7 sharp, I think I might take one of those little walks. Perhaps I'll find the calm even sweeter. Yours, Elodie. That would be really, really sweet if it wasn't for the whole situation.
A ship's old helm, tied to the bed, as if it were the quarterdeck of a vessel. That hospital screen is positioned like the sail of a ship.
So he was just kind of in his room pretending?
Stella Maris. That was the name of the ship captained by Walter Brandon. This room is the room of a madman. The entire space is arranged as if it were the deck of a ship. Did that man truly come to believe he was a character in an adventure book?
How did this happen? How was this man just allowed out to go with Elodie? But now we do have the key to the attic. I'm going to be really honest, I don't really want to go into the attic. It sounds like an absolutely terrible idea. If this was like a horror movie, I would be shouting at the screen saying, why would you do that? Why would you go in the dark attic in the creepy sanatorium when there's a murderer running around? But we need to get answers. We need to find the solution to this mystery, and we're not going to get it if we don't go in the attic. Also really conscious that that note said that it was very unstable in the attic and that's why it had been closed. Oh, that's immediately very creepy over there. It's so dark up here. We'll go towards the one light. It looks like somebody's been living up here, doesn't it? Our island. Was this part of his fantasy? There's a mirror.
a pair of scissors and a comb. Elodie put in real effort to make him fit the mold of her ideal hero.
Oh.
Hair on the chair, strands on the floor. This is where the transformation took place.
Patient 1365 became Walter.
She remade patient 1365 in the image of her most secret longings.
Oh no. She was actually involved in doing this. I don't know if that makes it feel better or worse, honestly. So she knew. She brought him home knowing that he was a patient who had not recovered and not Walter, and that none of his backstory was true.
An alarm clock.
Most likely they used it to slip back to the second floor before anyone noticed they were gone.
They used it to slip back to the second floor before anyone noticed they were gone. Every detail planned to perfection by Elodie.
Because she was the one that invited him up here in the first place.
Their secret hideaway. Like two reckless teenagers, they started a romance, hidden from the prying eyes of doctors and nurses. For a while, they managed to keep their affair in the shadows, far from the eyes of doctors and nurses.
She obviously, well, not obviously, I guess she didn't know what was actually wrong with him. Because at this point, he was pretty docile, we saw in the notes. That was a twist I wasn't expecting. For Elodie to be so involved. And basically it was Elodie's obsession with that book then. She's the one that got him into that. It's over here. The floor is literally about to collapse over here. Is there anything? Any clue? It's just darkness over here. I think it's actually just complete darkness. Ah. A rope. Did they put that here, or is that fallen down? Where am I now? This looks like patient rooms. But it can't be the men's ward because... Oh, is this how to get to the women's? Is this the women's rooms? The men's ones all had locks on the doors. Oh no, I already think I see blood. Do I? Is that rust? This is Elodie's room.
A draft letter, scratched out and full of corrections.
My dearest Walter, do not worry, everything is in place. I know it won't be easy, but it is crucial that you take the first step. Once they grant you your discharge, everything will change. Oh, I will be ready for you. I will be ready to follow you the moment you're out, in a safe place, far from here. When you speak with the doctors, I want you to repeat the words I've told you with conviction, as though they are the only thing that matters. Oh, she was manipulating the doctor. She knew exactly what to tell them. I wonder whether she did that with herself. We did kind of say that early on in the beginning, when we read the report, the doctor's report that was in the mansion. It seemed like she was kind of just saying, oh no, I'm fine now. All the bad thoughts have gone. So she told him to say to them, the shadow is gone, it has vanished, you're now fully yourself once more. Tell them you regret everything that happened, that you cannot understand how you acted in such a way. Speak of how you found peace in reading, how you now wish to live more serenely and with purpose. Make them see that the shadow no longer exists, that the darkness has completely faded. They must believe you are free. I know this is not entirely true, but I'm certain that with effort you can control the shadow. You must do it for us, for what lies ahead. They do not see you as you are, they only see you as a mere piece in their game. We shall show them that they have no control over our fate. Once you are free, I shall request my discharge as well. My place will be with you, and together we shall make our way to the Bloomsbury Manor. I love you, and I know that soon we will be free. This will all be behind us, and everything we've dreamed of will begin to come true. With all my love, Elodie. Oh, Elodie, this was a horrible, horrible decision.
She goaded him into leaving the sanatorium. That man was desperately ill. But Elodie's selfishness outweighed what little sense she had. She pushed him too far. If I pieced this together correctly, that Walter was never really Walter at all. There was another personality. She called it the Shadow, a dominant, dangerous force that surfaced again and again in his life. The threads are beginning to unravel, but I need to see this through. What truly happened to Walter Brandon?
I think that is a little bit harsh to Elodie. Like, she was suffering as well. And she did get murdered for it. And she seemed to really believe that she could just kind of fix him when he went home with her. I'm wondering what these islands are on the wall. Like, did she do this? Is this artwork that she did? Because she was imagining them being on their own little island. Dear Elodie, it has been some weeks since you requested a private session. As both your physician and your friend, I find myself troubled, unable to cast aside the thought of the solitude you spoke of those weeks past, solitude of which you've not since uttered a word. These days, burdened as I am with duty, I shall be confined to my office until the late hours of the night. Should you at any moment feel the impulse or the need for company, do not hesitate to visit me. The code to enter my office is 39124. Dr. Mulder. Yeah, just for
This letter.
friendly help.
At the very least, it's highly inappropriate.
Just come to my room at night for extra help. Sure, Dr. Mulder.
The room has been decorated to resemble some sort of island in the South Seas. Of course, I should have guessed. She pulled him into her world. Elodie created Walter Brandon.
So the reading therapy actually did a lot more harm than good. I thought there might be something on the back of the door. Can I look at the boxes actually on here? No. Okay, I think that's everything we have to discover in Elodie's room. At least we now have the code to Dr. Mulder's office. And it doesn't look like I can actually get out through the... No, it's completely collapsed. Can't see anything. Oh, I guess that's just a door that I can't open. All the others are still locked. Ah, Elodie. You really got yourself into a mess. I feel like I'm about to get myself into a mess as well. This seems so risky. Climbing up an old rope in an attic that looks like it's about to collapse. How did they get away with this? How did nobody notice? I've check the other side of the attic just in case. Ah, there is a painting over here. So Elodie was painting up here as well.
Looks like Elodie found herself a little hideaway to keep practicing her dark craft.
Oh, that's why the paintings are all of a shipwrecked man. Because she was obsessed with that book and with Walter. So she was creating Walter in her paintings.
Powerful drugs for depression. Anxiolytics. The girl improved, but it seems the doctors were baffled by her mind. Elodie found painting, and with it, a way to spill the shadows that crawled through her mind.
Yeah, she did make those island pictures for her room. Yeah, they did not help her at all here. They actually just put her in a more dangerous situation. I have to try to remember which floor Mulder's office was on. I think it was on the 2nd floor. Was it round the corner? Think I might be wrong. Oh no, it was. It's actually spelled incorrectly on the door. I hope this is the right one. I think it is though. I think they just put his name in incorrectly on the door. Okay, so his door code was 39124. 39124. Right? Yeah. I tried to think what we're about to find in here because this doctor definitely wasn't right either. Being left oddly intact. All of the drawers were cleared out of that one. A tape. Looks like it has blood spilled over it. That's quite clearly blood. That's definitely not rust. Got some confidential files. Let's see what the tape recorder has to reveal.
Patient number 1365 returns after an absence of 4 months.
Oh.
He's in a state of utter disorientation, perspiration pouring off him, and good heavens, there's a severe wound to the skull.
Oh.
His clothes and hands are covered in blood, and it doesn't appear to be his own. He cannot recall his name, nor anything that's happened during these past months. Seems to have found his way back here more by some strange instinct than by memory itself. The personality once known as Walter has vanished entirely, as has the entity we refer to as the Shadow.
Oh.
Though, given his nature, I cannot say with certainty it isn't still lurking beneath the surface. We have treated cases of dissociative identity before, but never one such as this. His appearance, his voice, even his build and weight change quite drastically. Now he looks frail, gaunt, empty, as though there's nothing inside, as though he were but an empty shell, waiting to be occupied. His condition calls for far stricter supervision. This institution is no longer equipped to care for him. I am ordering his immediate transfer to St. Dimphna Hospital. Dr. Former, a specialist in matters such as this, will take him under his care. As I near the end of my tenure as director, I must see this case brought to a decisive close. The blood upon his hands, the emptiness in his eyes, all point to an act of the gravest kind. One his mind appears to have erased entirely. God help us, if the Shadow should ever wake again.
That's where he went.
So it seems Walter came back to the sanatorium of his own accord, though he was utterly incapable of recalling what he'd done. They moved him to St. Dimphna's Hospital. Could he still be there after 20 years? What became of him? I'll have to follow this lead.
You could potentially find him. Why didn't they report that? They should have been able to piece that together. An old inmate from the asylum was brutally murdered, and then another old inmate from the asylum turns up covered in blood. The missing piece. Oh, we're going to St. Dymphna's, I guess. The visit to the old sanatorium had left more questions than answers. The pieces didn't fit. Scattered fragments of a puzzle missing its center. That one elusive detail, the thread that could unravel everything, remained just out of reach. Perhaps the modern hospital held the final clue. The last chance to shed light on the mystery still shrouding the death of Lady Fordside. It's a good point. There are pieces that don't fit here. I still feel like there's something slightly suspicious about the mother, to be honest.
That man returned to the new sanatorium, remembering practically nothing. Maybe it was the wound Lady Margaret left him. Or maybe his mind shattered and never came back after what happened that night. As for me, I was hired to find the one who killed Lady Fordside, and my intuition told me they were still there, in the depths of St. Dymphna. I sensed that the end of the road was waiting for me in that place.
I don't think it's because he got hit on the head that he can't remember. I think it's more that he was so kind of split personality between Walter, or the guy with the shadow, and the person that was quite calm usually, that when he's in the other state he just can't remember what he was doing.
Can't very well saunter in through the front door as if nothing's amiss. I'll need to find another way in.
Oh, I actually thought we were just going to walk in and ask them. I guess that's not very detective-like. Can I go through the staff-only door? No, that's not going to be open. Maybe a window? Ah, that one's open. Do I need to be careful that I don't get caught in here?
It's locked.
The patient must trust his psychiatrist. Don't think that's good advice after what we've seen today. Everyone's over there talking, so am I safe to have a look around? Annette, I've stored the copy of the dispensary keys you requested in the storage room file cabinet. Okay, I can't get into the storage room though, so that's not very helpful. How do I get in the storage room? The swimming doctor. Okay, I don't think that's what the nurses are supposed to be reading while they're at the front desk. If you feel torn, Neuromason. Medicine advertisement? Aha! Hopefully that's for the storage room. Just check over here. Oh, that would have been the staff room.
It's locked.
Door. I thought that was someone coming in there. Okay, nobody noticed me, and just quickly go and unlock the storage room. Okay. There's a phone ringing. They're gonna be out there now because of the phone? And maybe I can quickly get the phone. Yeah, no one's coming. Oh, it stopped ringing.
The night shift nurses are behind this door. I need to find another way into the hallway to the rooms.
Silence is requested by the nurse. They're not being very silent, are they? This is the employee of the month. Oh, that's not the outside door. That is the dispensary then. Ah. Wonder if I could find... I was going to say the patient's prescription, but actually that wouldn't really help me, would it? That was loud. Okay. The consulting room, room 25. I don't know what room I'm looking for. I just need to sneak around till I find the patient rooms. Any clues in here? Hang on. This is the room I was in at the start of the game, isn't it? Am I going crazy? I swear this is the room I was in at the start.
John Morley and the case of the red shoes. What the devil does this mean?
What? Hang on. What? Am I... Have I imagined that I'm John Morley? Am I the patient? The case of the red shoes was that... No, that can't be the case. The case of the red shoes was the case that I solved. It was on the board in my office when Elodie's mother came to see me.
Lady Margaret.
That fateful night, I was startled by the noise. Those wretched cries of agony from dear Elodie. I rushed to her chambers, and there you stood.
It was me!
Stained with the blood of the one soul I cherished above all others in this world. The housekeeper had warned me, but I turned a deaf ear. Elodie was finally happy, even amidst your incessant bouts of volatility. Yet, with the passage of time, your demeanor darkened. More and more frequently, that sinister presence lurking within you began to surface, each appearance more violent than the last. Elodie no longer gazed upon you with the starry-eyed affection of a smitten young woman. The atmosphere in this house grew suffocating, fraught with an unbearable tension. That very afternoon I spoke with her. She had resolved to end your engagement. You seemed, or so I dared hope, to have accepted it with grace. But that night, that very night, you ended her life in the most savage manner imaginable. I threw myself upon Elodie, desperate to save her. But alas, it was far too late.
Aww.
Months later, I learned you had returned voluntarily to the sanatorium. I sought answers and immersed myself in understanding the afflictions that plagued you. Dissociative identity disorder, they called it. A condition in which one might host multiple identities, each vying for dominion over the body. But the man confined in that bleak institution was not the shadow, not the fiend who had stolen my daughter. No, he was but the shell, the hapless vessel. And I yearned to find the true culprit, not the facade, the murderer himself. Thus I devised my plan. I came to visit you, and just as Elodie had done, I crafted a new role for you, a new identity to inhabit.
Wow.
I brought books, personal artifacts, penned letters as Penny. I leased an office and prepared every detail meticulously.
Wow, that's how it was there.
Down to the smallest thread, for your return as John Morley. Everything had to be flawless. And why, you may ask? To make you remember, to awaken the shadow, to summon forth the murderer from the abyss of your fractured mind. John Morley is a good man. Walter Brandon was a spirited young sailor brimming with love for Elodie. But the shadow was a merciless, unrepentant killer. I wanted to destroy the murderer who had stolen my daughter. But I could never bring myself to harm an innocent man. My obsession, my singular purpose, was to awaken the shadow.
Oh. I'm actually kind of speechless. That's... what? When did I become the shadow? I left this room as John Morley, like dressed as John Morley. Was it when we were in the asylum? Is that why I started seeing him more when we were in the asylum? That was such a good twist at the end. I was not expecting that. I mean, I was kind of right that the mother was slightly suspicious, but absolutely not for the reasons that I thought she might be suspicious. So actually, this guy, the murderer, he was massively manipulated by everyone around him. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have murdered anyone. He would have just stayed in the asylum, continued to get help. Wow. And that's why it's the last case of John Morley. From the title, I was expecting that either he would get killed at the end, or that would be kind of his final case because he was giving up that job and doing something else. But yeah, it's the last case of John Morley because John Morley was a fictional detective. Oh, that was a really good game. It was. I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much. I'm actually still kind of shocked by that ending. But thank you so much for joining me on the last case of John Morley. I would love to find more games like this. If you know of more really good detective games with good clues, a good actual story to it, I would love to hear them. And if you did enjoy this, then please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. And I'll see you soon. Bye.